These boys, their daddies and their granddaddies and their great-granddaddies, they made their living in this bay.
North Florida's Apalachicola Bay was the motherlode of Florida's oyster industry, at one point producing 90% of the state's supply. But for the past few years, the harvesters were milking the remnants of a dying bay. On our trips, instead of filling their bins with oysters, we saw them filling the bins with rocks and dumping them in the bay in a desperate attempt to rebuild the oyster beds and save their livelihoods.
That should not have had to be.
It didn't work. The feds declared the natural fisheries there a disaster, and just before Christmas, the state banned oyster harvesting in the Apalachicola Bay. Our state government claimed it's all Georgia's fault. Florida claimed the growing population of the Atlanta area and Georgia farmers were sucking much of the water out of our river systems before it reaches Florida. And as the flow of fresh water from Georgia dried up, salt water from the Gulf flooded into the Apalachicola Bay, changed the salinity of the bay, altered the food web, and wiped out the oysters. So former Governor Rick Scott escalated a long-running legal dispute and sued Georgia to try to make it reduce its water consumption. But the oyster fishermen tried to warn Scott that would not work.
So Governor Scott says he's going to sue Georgia for you.
Correct.
And you said, please don't do that.
We said that was not going to solve anything for us. We knew it wasn't.
They said the Army Corps of Engineers, which reports to Congress, regulates water flow, not the government of Georgia.
The Corps directs how much water gets where.
Why sue Georgia when this is a matter for Congress to figure out?
Great question.
But Florida sued Georgia anyway and picked outside lawyers who charged up to $825 an hour and ran up more than $50 million in bills for state taxpayers. And then the special master in the case ruled Florida was in fact suing the wrong party, just as the fishermen said.
What if we gave the lawyers $1 billion? Do you think they could win that war then?
No.
$2 billion?
No.
$10 billion?
No. You can go at every different angle you want. There's not a winning battle when you're suing Georgia.
The Supreme Court gave Florida one last chance to revise and present its case. And in the final arguments, Georgia claimed Florida's oyster losses are due to overharvesting and Florida's own mismanagement. And the Supreme Court unanimously ruled Florida failed to prove its case. The final ruling states Florida's own documents and witnesses reveal that Florida allowed an unprecedented level of oyster harvesting in the years before the collapse, and that a former Florida official, one of Florida's lead witnesses, acknowledged that these practices bent Florida's fisheries until they broke.